Hello, my name is Erika and I'm here to share my experience as a second-year undergraduate student studying business management at the business school at City University. Business management has different pathways that you can decide to study. So for example, I'm studying marketing, but you can decide either to study only business management or, for example, business with finance, international business, and many more. So obviously it depends on your preferences and what you want to do after you graduate. Because of that, in the first year, everyone studies the same modules and doesn't depend on the pathways that you decided to choose. So for example, in my first year, I actually studied Introduction to Management, Introduction to Marketing, Accounting and Finance as well. So it's very varied, and you study some modules which are very quantitative, but you also have your qualitative modules such as, for example, Business Management. In my second year, you actually go on to study what your pathway is going to become. So you have some modules that everyone studies, but at the same time you have your specific modules, such as in my experience, I'm going to study branding and also communications because it is from the marketing module. So when it comes to my experience overall with business management, I'm actually very satisfied, and it actually ticked all the boxes that I was looking for before I was applying to go to this business school. And one of the main reasons is that obviously it's a Bachelor of Science, so you're going to have many modules that are very, as I said, qualitative. For example, I just study Introduction to Finance, and also I'm going to study Business Analytics. And in first year, we actually study Quantitative Methods. Obviously, you have a mix of those quantitative modules, which are very helpful as, of course, you're studying a Bachelor of Science, but at the same time, you dive into deeper when it comes to management. For example, I just study Human Resources and all of that, which is, I believe, gives you a very well-rounded experience when it comes to the business world. One of the main reasons why I decided to go for City University, it was actually because it's very job-oriented, and by this I mean that you have a lot of group projects, which are obviously very helpful to pick up your team working abilities, and it obviously gives you the chance to put yourself to the test in order to obviously try to work with other people that you never met before, and everyone is coming from different backgrounds and cultures, and it is very exciting. And through my various many projects, I've actually made many friends, and it was a very good opportunity not only to socialize, but at the same time to develop my employability skills. I believe that with this specific course, it actually gives you a lot of understanding of putting your skills to the test, and not only having everything just based on the theory, but it's actually very practical. Another thing that was very important for me, it was the opportunity to have working experience. So with this course, you have the opportunity to go for a placement year or also a micro placement. So it gives you the chance either to work for a term, or also you can work for a whole year during a placement. And this is one of the main reasons, another good reasons I believe to go for such course, because it obviously gives you the chance to step into the working environment before you actually are done with your degree. Another thing that I found was so helpful was the opportunity to have the career website and the career teams that is there for you to help you and guide you with any advice that you might need when it comes to building your CVs, your resume, looking for jobs, whether it would be after you graduate or during term time. For example, I had many jobs through the university. For example, I I am a ambassador for obviously City University, but also for City Ventures, which is City University's incubator. Through those temporary roles, you have obviously the opportunity to meet new people, but also to build those skills that you actually need after you graduate. So I think overall those were very important experience, and I actually recommend everyone to go for a temporary role or any type of experience whatsoever. And City actually helps you a lot, and they can guide you and find the perfect position for you. Another thing that I want to talk about is actually student accommodation. So during my first year, I was actually at Romano Core, which is one of the accommodation that I provided. It's actually catered to first year in particular. I had a very good experience with my student accommodation because it was a very good opportunity for me to meet new people and socialize. As of right now as well, after I ended my first year at student accommodation, I actually moved in a private accommodation in a flat with friends that I actually made during my stay at the student accommodation. And therefore I believe, especially when you're a first year student, I actually would recommend you to go and stay in a student accommodation because everything is much easier. You don't have to worry about bills, Wi-Fi, and all of that. You literally don't have to worry about anything about, obviously, apart from cooking and cleaning. If it's not obviously catered, you obviously have to cook for yourself. I believe that's a very good experience, and then the first step for you to live on your own, but also not have so many responsibilities that, for example, you would have by renting your own place. And yeah, so overall I would extremely recommend you to do that. So as I said earlier, I'm actually an international student, and it was one of the reasons why I decided to go for a City University, because I was reading online that it was extremely diverse, and I wanted to be with people that were coming from many different parts of the world with many different backgrounds and cultures, and it's something that I really cherish. Being able to meet other people that were in the same position as me made everything feel much more familiar. This is it from me, and I hope you really enjoyed the video and you had the chance to understand a bit more about City University and in particular business management.